Okay. I don't know why they're doing that. All right. So, like I said, what we're going to be doing today is showing you how to add the Performance Giving Network pages into your website. I'm actually going to be using one of my students, Miss Linda Marie. She has an older version of the website. She came in late 2018, early 2019, somewhere around there. So she has a really old site, but she's been working on it, plugging along as she can. She won't be here today. She's actually having her granddaughter a birthday party. And so she needs to go there and take care of that. But I told her I would be adding this to her system. She's going to jump home when she gets a chance. So if you have a question that you want to go over, and I might be able to incorporate your answer while we're doing training, please let me know. Just unmute yourself and ask your question, and I'll write it down and make sure we go over it as we go through our training today.
Sheila, if I go to pages and put in tipping circle, should it be there?
No, you won't have yours either. Yeah.
Okay.
Anybody that has a site that's older than 2 days, you won't have these.
Okay.
You have to add them.
Okay.
So that's what we're going to be going over today.
Sheila, is my mic hot today?
I can hear you, but barely. So, but yes, I can hear you. And welcome. All right. Anything else we're going to go over? Any questions?
Yeah, I was going to know exactly what I guess you're doing because, okay, Rory was talking about, he showed the memes.
Memes.
Names.
Uh-huh.
And they were very neutral colors like beiges, and one was in the living room. And they had like white, right? I guess the point I'm getting at, that is what we're going to use, or can we change it or do
well, you won't get those unless you are in the memes programs. That's a paid program where those are created professionally. Okay. Yeah. Gotcha. So you can create your own. Like I said, or you can sign up with the memes program. The memes program is $79 to get it started because they have to go to the graphics department. They have to pull your links, and then they will create those memes based on your personal website. And then every 3 months you will get a charge, just like you do for your website. For that, they're $8.95 a month. So instead of billing you $8.95 a month, they do it in quarters. So you'll get a charge for, I think, $28.95 or $29.95, something like that. Every month is done through your PayPal, or not every month, but every 3 months to get those. And you get anywhere from 4 to 5, sometimes 6 a month that they create for you based on what we are going to be concentrated on for that month. Like this month, we are doing all the tipping circle programs, except for the helium. I think next month we'll probably get the ones for the helium programs. And then as it goes through, you know, they'll do more on the wine and coffee and probably clothing and travel, PBS, work from home stuff. So as they do that, if you are part of that program, you'll get those memes. They come in your Dropbox. If your Dropbox not full, they also send them to your email that they have on file. A lot of people say, well, I'm not getting my emails. And that's because you registered with one email and then changed it or got a new email for your business. And we haven't updated it, or you haven't told us to send it to a specific email. So they always do it the one that you registered with your PBS with. But yeah, they do send them both ways. That way, if you have a full Dropbox and didn't upgrade to the paid Dropbox, then they do send it to your email.
But we can do our own, right? We
yes.
can still do okay.
Yeah.
Because I can't afford $79.
Yeah, you can still, you're fine. You can still do your own. I actually did one the other day for the wine, not the wine. It kind of was for the wine.
We use Canva. We still use Canva?
Yeah, still use Canva. Gotcha. So I think it was wine. Yeah, this one right here. I just saw this on a thing, you know, people was talking about masks. So I did this one. It's just really cute. It says 70% alcohol kills most germs in 30 seconds. I bet if you inhale and drink it, it kills it faster, I so have this covered, and then I send them to my fine wines page. But this was an image I saw when I was scrolling for mask, you know, trying to find designs for mask, and this popped up. I was like, oh, I got to create a meme for that. So it's not the most subtle. Huh?
How do you do that?
Do this?
Create the meme from an image.
Oh, I'll show you. We'll go over that after class.
Okay.
Yep.
Isn't it 99%?
No, actually, I researched it.
Yeah.
And the 70% alcohol, if you wipe stuff down and wait 30 seconds, it does kill the corona.
Okay.
But the higher the alcohol content, the less time you wait. But it does say to wait a minimum of 30 seconds if you feel that it's infected or it has the chance to be contaminated. But and the green alcohol works better. I just didn't put green. The green alcohol is actually a higher concentrate than the regular alcohol. Witch hazel is good to use too. You just have to wait a little bit longer.
Right.
But
Okay.
I've been doing some research on what can kill, or you know, the corona, and 70% is the lowest that you can go, because a lot of the alcohols, and you need to look, some of them are only 50. That won't work. It has to be at least 70. So, but yeah, there's all kind of different things you can do, but we'll go over through that. So is there any questions on what you want to do for your PBS? If not, we'll get started. Let's see, there's something in the chat. Okay, gotcha. All right, so what we're going to do is, like I said, I'm using Miss Linda Marie. I'm going to use her website. And the thing that we're going to do first is I'm going to pull up the list, and I actually have it in our student chat where that list is, and it's going to have all of the list there. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, actually 6 that we're going to be working on. And so I'm just going to pull up the website. And as you can see, this is the one I was working on. It's very short. It does have I think it's only got like 270 words in it. But again, it's just for you to go through and modify. So I'm going to copy this all the way from the top and go down to the bottom. And you don't need the tweets and the social marketing. Also, if you would please mute yourself so I don't have to mute everybody, I would appreciate it. That way it doesn't come through on our training recording. So here's the other thing. We've had a lot of people do this, and they're like, well, I'm not finding it on my pages. It's because they did it on a post. So if you come up here and do new, make sure you wait till the drop down comes down and then scroll down till you get to page, and make sure it's highlighted. If it's not highlighted, it automatically reverts to post. That means it shows up on your home page. And you don't want it to do that. You want it to be in pages so you can index them and categorize them if you want to into your pages and your categories. So we're going to do page. And you see right here in your address bar, it says page. So you want to make sure that it does say page and not post. Now, because she hasn't updated, it tells you all the new stuff to the block editor. So you'll get that. So right here, we're going to do her title. Okay, and then we're just going to paste that information in there. And there it goes. So we're going to take this out. And then what you want to do is you want to look at your link and see what he has as his title. So PNG, that's going to be our key phrase, or that's going to be our link title. So we're going to come in here and go back to her website. And focus key phrase, we're going to type in all right, and then we're going to do our edit snippet. All right, so it says that our title's too long, And that's because, and like I told her, she's going to have that issue every time because of this right here. And you want to make sure that stays in there. For the simple fact that, you know, that's her title. Now, if we want to, we can take this out. That's not going to do too much. She just has a really long name, and I'm not going to worry about that. We'll just have to make sure the content's big enough that it's going to take care of that. So, but the thing we need to concentrate on here is the slug. And remember, the slug is actually your address for your website. So we want the slug to be P&G, Performance Giving Network. Okay. And then we're going to do a meta description. Okay, so that's what we want to do. And then I'm just going to close Snippet. And I'm going to go ahead and post this page, but first I want to make sure I take out all of the links because all these links go to Rory. I don't want any links in there that are not hers. And we're going to go ahead and post this or publish it. And even though it's an exact copy, at least it'll be there where they can find it and she can find it later. Okay. And the readability is still good, and we'll be adding to that. And the reason I put this, I actually need to put this in all caps because we're going to use this as well, if I can spell. We're going to use this as a category. And the reason that's distinguished is, like I said, we are using this as a category page. So you want to make sure everything that you use as a category page is in caps. And then we're just going to update that.
Okay, I'm asking a stupid question.
No stupid questions.
This page that you're now working on is not what we're going to get.
Yes, is exactly what you're going to get. It's the exact same thing. Yep.
Okay.
The only thing you need to change is the title, but everything else is going to be the same. Like your focus key phrase is going to be whatever you want it to be. Performance Giving Network, the Giving Network, those are good key phrases. The slug has to be PNG or PGN.
Okay.
In lowercase. Okay.
What?
Remember, slug is always in lowercase. So that way, if you do decide to get into the means program, you already have your page created. If you don't get into the means program, that's fine. It's still there. But the slug is actually your address, will become your address to your page. But your focus key phrase is what people will be searching for. And you'll get a thing down at the bottom that says your slug is not part of your key phrase. That's perfectly okay. As long as you write enough to where this turns green, they'll overlook that. Okay. And we can make it part of it if you want to. It doesn't matter. I wouldn't suggest it. Just saying. They will still search for your key phrase. So that's how we add that one. Okay.
I thought the slug had to be your key phrase.
No, it does not. They just recommend that your slug has the key phrase in it, but in this instance, it doesn't need to be because we're using it in our page. But if you want it to be in your key phrase, you can. You can actually put it at the end, beginning. It doesn't really matter. But we're not going to use it right now. We're just using the Slug. Just like I said, if you're using the memes, that's what it does, because you don't want a whole long title or link in your memes. Even when you're creating your own, you don't want it to be, 3 lines, because that's what your title is.
Sheila, even though you're going to send this exactly to us, we still need to put our own personality into.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're still going to modify it. This is basically your template.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So we're going to have that one. So there's that one. So it's updated. And as you can see with the new format, you don't have your sidebar. So you just click on your Windows, your W, and it brings you back to your home page or your dashboard. And then we're going to go to page again. And like I said, if you're in the student chat, everything is there. Then we're going to go to the next one, which is the paid to chat. Okay. And we're going to do the same thing.
That still blows my mind.
What? Paid to chat? That people actually
paid to chat. Who's paying and why?
Yeah. Like I said, it's all part of the United Nations consortium that we are doing to make sure it goes globally.
United Nations?
United
I don't remember
Nations.
Rory talking about that.
Yep.
Is that phone call as well as text, or just text, or?
I think right now it's just texting with this program. I'm not sure if you can do the phone, actually phone calls. I do know there is a program in place that they're working on to where you can actually get phone service and get paid to use your phone. I don't know if it's going to be integrated with the paid to chat, but I do know it's in the works. So you'll be able to get rid of whatever phone service you have. So we're going to copy this, and then we're going to paste. And again, like I said, this is all just information here. You're going to actually be coming in later and modifying this, like, and put your own links in. You're going to be, changing your, let's make sure that's not linked, so that's good. So you're going to put your own spin on things. That's not linked, okay. So we're just going to take out everything here. Just make sure the pages aren't linked, the pictures aren't linked. And some of the, yes.
It doesn't have, this doesn't have anything to do with these pages, but if we, in order for us personally to be able to use this stuff, do we have to be signed up or paying for the TV?
No, you do not. All you have to do is be part of Tipping Circle. And I'll go through that and show you how to use that. So in this one, you're going to use, so we're going to go back to our, this one says paid to chat. All right, so our key phrase is paid to chat. And this is one that we're going to have our key phrase and our snippet's going to be the same, our slug. All right, so there's that. And we're going to close our snippet editor. And so we're going to look at our SEO. See, it already tells us that our SEO title is too wide. I don't care if it's too wide. Like I said, it's just part of her name of her website, but we got a green and green. Still going to have to come back and modify it and edit it and add her own images. Because see, this is Rory's meme right here. We need to take that out. So I'm actually going to go ahead and take that out of there because we don't need that meme in there. The rest of it is okay. Doesn't have anything associated with Rory in there. So that's one of the things you want to do is when you start doing, like there's a thing. So once you go through and copy these pages and publish, you're still going to modify it, put your own spin in it. I'll be showing you where to go and get some more information on these, on how to make sure that you make them yours. But we're going to go ahead and put them all in here. Okay, so there's that one. And we're going to come here and we're going to get another one.
Thank you. I said, how are we going to go and get the?
Yeah, on your new updates, you'll just have that little W over there. So you just click on the W, it brings you straight back to your dashboard. Click on page. And then we're going to come here to Skype and we're going to get our tipping circle. And again, we're going to do the same thing. Go ahead, always create your title first. Okay, and then we're going to come here and copy this. Come back and paste. Okay, and then let's see what the tipping circle. So we're going to do that. So first, like I said, always go in and take all the links out. Just break the links. Always check and see that one's not linked. Nope, wrong one. Those of you that were fortunate enough to get your stake base before they went under construction, make sure you put your stake base link in there if you're going to use it. If not, you don't have to. If you haven't gotten your stake base link yet, don't worry about it. As soon as they are up and running, you'll be able to. Stake base is actually going to be part of the tipping circle once it gets done. So right here, we're going to do tipping circle, and we can go through and check out these to see if it's a great keyword. So tipping circle, so it's 85%, which is good. So we'll keep using that one. All right, and then we're going to go to our edit snippet, and we're going to put tipping circle here. All right, so there's that simple, short, to the point, and just close our snippet. So now we have our slug in there, which is tipping circle. We have our key phrase in there, which again is tipping circle. And you can, if you wanted to, you can actually separate these two or leave them together. Doesn't really matter. What does Jaxie have them? We have it separated. So let's see if we put it together, if we get a different, reading on that, or if it's still the same. All right, so tipping circle together. So that tells me right there, there's not enough search for it. So let's go ahead and separate it here in our key phrase. So we will separate tipping circle. It's fine. But in our slug, we want it together. So then we're going to close our snippet editor. And then on her SEO, what she needs to work on, it will tell her there's no internal links. She's always going to get this no matter what she does. Key phrase in slug, it says it doesn't appear to be, and that's because we separated it. That's totally fine. It's an orange. Once we get these two taken care of, it'll be okay. It'll outweigh it. So then we're going to go ahead and publish this. So it's in her system. People can be looking at it and at least getting the information until she gets it updated. And then we are going to, again, come to our W, go back to our dashboard, and go back to page. And we're going to go and get our next link, which is paid to game. Okay, and go back here. And this one, we're going to use a different key phrase. All right. And so this one right here, well, actually, we need to copy the information in. Again, you can see most of these are really short. I think a lot of them are under 300 words, so you got some work cut out for you just to make them longer. Again, here is another meme that Rory has created. It has his logo in it. We don't want that. I mean, if you want to leave it in there and create your own meme based around what he has here, that's totally fine, but we want to go ahead and remove it. That's just less work she will have to do. Just go ahead and break all of our links. Okay. All right, and like I said, if you want to see how many words this has, 332, so it's just under the minimum requirement. You want to expand on that. So in this one, we're going to look up Jaxie and find a better key phrase. So we're going to do gaming. I actually have one that is for gaming. And gaming's a really good key phrase. So if we do paid to game, see which one that one is. So we got 41 versus 40. So I think I'm going to use gaming here. And our okay. All right. Oh, period. All right. And so paid to gaming, get paid to, actually just leave it for gaming. And all right, so took care of some things because she's going to have some issues. So we're going to do that. So close the snippet editor. Let's see what this says. We're always going to get that key phrase. Yes, it does. Okay, not in the title. We can fix that. Okay, I think that should take care of a few key things. Yes. I don't want it to appear in Slug, so that's fine. We're going to publish. So there's the gaming. And you see right here, her Slug or her address is paid to game, which is what we want it to be. It matches your Slug. So then we got two more. TV, which I think she might already have, but we're going to go ahead and put this one in because it is. All right, so we're going to come here.
Hey, Sheila.
Yes, hey.
Hey.
You finished class?
Yeah. I don't get it.
Okay, so we're just adding our pages for the new program. So we're going to come here, and which was the next one was TV. So we're going to come here and okay, and then we're going to copy. And we're going to add. And again, this is Rory's meme. You can leave it on there and create your own if you want, if you're not part of the means program. If you are part of the means program, you'll get one that looks just like this, but instead of it saying 1f16.com TV, it'll say whatever your website is. So I'm just going to go ahead and remove this because I know she's not in the memes program. And we're going to go ahead and remove all the links. Make sure this isn't linked. No. Okay. And here we're going to put in free TV. And then we're going to come here to our snippet editor, and our slug is just going to be TV.
You got extra space before your second sentence.
Yeah, I'm taking out all my spaces so that I'm just trying to find out how I want to, because there's something else I want to say here. I'm just trying to figure out what I want to take out. Let's say, what's your favorite? Everybody's home now, as you can hear. uh, there we go. This needs to be 3 friends. There we go. Perfect. Okay, there we go. So there's that free TV. So now let's just see what our SEO says, which we know that key phrase or synonyms not appear in the first paragraph. So we can, and she's going to be able to modify that. So I'm not going to worry about that. Here's one that we missed. I don't know how we missed that. C. All right, that took care of that. And so I'm going to go ahead and publish this page. Oh, missed that one. Make sure we broke all the links. So she'll just need to have some editing that needs to come in. She'll need to fix this. Her SEO title is always going to be too wide because of the name of her website that she's given it. Key phrase and title, these are just some of the things she'll need to work on. So we're going to update that. And then we are going to come and grab our last one, which is our helium hotspot. And come back here and add another page. This one he got a little bit longer because there's a lot of information on the helium. All right. So we're going to remove this link, because all these are Rory's links. This one that's not linked, so that's good. Okay, so our key phrase is going to be and then we're going to change our slug, do the same thing. And then we're going to edit our snippet, come up here, our meta description.
You torturing that kid again?
Her daddy. Hold on a minute. Sorry. Went shopping yesterday to get the kids some new stuff, and she wants to wear one of her new outfits. Her daddy told her she couldn't because she might go to her mama's.
No, you can barely hear her. I was just joking with you. I go,
Oh, no,
okay.
no, I didn't know how loud she was, but she sounded
No.
pitiful, didn't she?
You can barely hear her.
All right, let's see. Ah, okay. And we'll just leave it like that. They can just click it on to read more. All right, hopefully they will. All right, so now let's see what it's saying. All right, so what do we need? Helium hotspot. Yes, we do. Oh, we got spot. So hotspot. Perfect. Okay, that took care of that.
Did you change the I? I think you had further. Maybe.
Yeah, yeah. I don't have. I just have the IoT, and that's the way it is. It's the O supposed to be lowercase because it is a preposition. It's not a main word. A lot of people put it as a capital O. It does not have the same views on the internet as the lowercase o. So if you are using IoT and you capitalize the whole word, you will not get the same amount of traffic as you do if you use the I, lowercase o, and t. Just a little snippet for you.
Kind of trademark?
No. IoT is not a trademark. It's a verbiage used for the Internet of Things, which is basically what it is. It's just random energy that is out there, random waves, just like sound waves, but it's computer waves. That anything that has any type of electronics to it, computers, if you have a smartphone, smart TV, smart refrigerator, oven, anything that uses microwaves, it will pick up. That hotspot's supposed to pick them up and converts them into Bitcoin. And if you live in an area that has a lot of that, then you have the hub and it's mining, it's going to mine like crazy. I have one student, hers is over, I think she said 6,000 or 7,000 that she's been mining in Bitcoin. So I can only imagine where she lives. I think she stays in Minnesota or Mississippi, Missouri. I think it's one of the up Midwest. And hers is mining like crazy. If you live in a rural community, then it probably won't mine as fast. If you live in a metropolitan area, it mines within in a 25-mile radius, I think it is, of the actual hub placement. Those of us that have virtual hubs, they said we're supposed to get physical hubs. I'm not sure if that's still the case. They were not expecting it to go the way it did. They only allocated 200 physical hubs. We bought over, I think it's close now to 1,500, maybe 2,000 hubs in total. They were not prepared for that. So as soon as they get those up and running, and they'll ship it to those of us that have the virtual. They have been synced. They're just not necessarily synced to our area. But once we get the physical hub, you'll be able to do that. You won't lose anything at all. So just bear with us, those of us that have the virtual hubs. They're coming supposedly. So but that's how we're going to add it. So now we've added all the information here. She has all of her actual pages. She's going to need to modify them. We've already changed the title, so she won't need to change the title. We've already got the key phrases. focus key phrase, and the slug does not need to change. All she will need to do is just come in and actually modify her pages. Now we're going to go to her menu, and we're going to create a new category. Okay, and the way you do that is you're going to go, have your most recent, and we're going to go ahead and click all the most recent ones that we just added, and we're going to add them all at one time, and we're going to add to menu.
I was looking for something like that.
Yeah.
Where did I put that page?
Yep. So if you, like me, sometimes I forget what I titled something. If you come to your appearance and go to menus and just click on most recent, it will have your most recent ones first, like usually within a day or so or a week or so, but all your most recent will be here. If you want to see everything, you just click on view all, and it will have everything in alphabetical order, starting with your home page. If you want to view search for something, you can do the same thing. You're like, well, I think I had this in the title. I just come to most searches or most recent, because then it shows me the last things that I added. And then you can just click on them to add to your menu. So then we're going to come down here, and the first thing we're going to,
that helps so much. That's so much more better.
yeah, and then you just add them all at one time. Now, just remember, just because you have a page that you've created, it does not have to go in your menu structure. The only thing you want in your menu structure is the vital pages that you want people to see at first glance when they come to your website. You still want them to be able to search for any related topics or other topics, but for the most part, your category pages and your menu page is basically your most important pages that you want people to see. Basically, your best writing is what I call it. Like I said, I have about 10 pages on wine. I have about that many on diet and exercise. You know, TV, I got like 4 or 5 pages on TV, but I only have one on my menu page. But they can always go and search TV. If they go up there and click on search TV, they'll pull up every page in my system that's related to TV. Same thing with chats. You know, anything that you have, you don't want to flood your menu with all different things. You just want to have your most relevant one there and leave it. That doesn't mean you can't change them out periodically. You can. So we're going to come down here. And the reason I capitalized this is because I wanted it to be a menu item, category item. So we're just going to come up here and put it in your category page. Menu page should be in alphabetical order. But that doesn't mean everything within that needs to be in alphabetical order. So we're going to put it right here. And then we're going to move these pages up into there. So helium spot. Drop right there. TV, and now TV, you can put these in entertainment. It doesn't have to be just one category. If it fits in 2 categories, then you can put it in 2 categories. But I wouldn't put it in more than 2 categories. Because then if you're applying for Google, they're going to say that your menu structure is made up of the same page over and over and over. And that's not what you want. You want them to see variety. And then once I get these in here, I'll be able to change it. And there's another way you can do it. There's a simpler way to do it. You could have actually put these and group these all together and then move the whole structure, which is what I should have done, instead of moving one at a time. Paid to chat. And then once you get them in here, you can rearrange them the way you want to, which according to importance or what you want to. I would put the helium down at the bottom. No. There we go. Okay, and then you always want to make sure you save menu. Okay, and then you're like, well, I want to have that one in more than one category. So then you can actually do your TV and your gaming and add that to menu. It's the same page, you're just adding it twice. So then you're going to pull your TV And let's go up to, see how that pulled, I don't want that. Bring that back down here. That over there. So we're going to grab our TV and we're going to pull it up here to arts and entertainment. And once you edit one page, all the pages or related items are edited too. So you don't have to go in and say, okay, I just edited page. Now I got to go into arts and entertainment and edit it again. You don't. It's the same thing. It's the same page no matter where you edit it from. So then we're going to come down here and do gaming, and we're actually going to put that under games. Right here. And then we're going to go and save menu. And then when we come to her page, visit her site, then you can see right here we have our PNG network, and there's all the pages that we just added. She'll just need to go in to modify them, and then we can look at arts and entertainment. There's our new TV page. We can go in and look at games, and there's her new gaming page. So everything has been added to the website, and you are good to go. Now, do we have any questions on how we added those pages in?
I'm sorry, Sheila. When you okay, remember you said that they can go in 2 different places.
Mm-hmm.
How'd you do that again? Did you
Okay.
duplicate it? Or?
No. So when you go to the menu, so you're in the menu, you can, all you have to do is go back to your recents. And so we just added all of them at one time and put them under our PNG. Right. So then all you'd have to do is come back and say, well, I want to put helium somewhere else. Even though you've added, you just come and click it and tell it to add it to the menu again.
And then you just move it. I gotcha.
Yep. And then you come down here and you can actually put helium under businesses. So we can do that too. So she can have another section. So we got our helium here. So let's go and see if she still has her business. If it's not, then we can put it under something else. So let's go up here and see. It could actually, well, it's not really a software or service. Not a mobile app or game. And right here, e-marketing and business, we can actually put it here. And so that's how you would add it. Like I said, though, I wouldn't put more than 2 of the same page in your category menu, just for the simple fact that when you do go to apply for Google AdSense and they look at your category menu and you got the same page in 4 or 5 different categories, they'll say that your website's not really relevant. You're just recopying the same page over and over. Even though you might have tons of other pages, they still want to make sure that you're not duplicating the same information multiple times. 2, 3 times is the max I would add any page to your menu structure. Twice is my limit. I wouldn't put anything more than twice. So, and then you want to make sure that you always save your menu. And then once that's done, it tells you that your menu has been updated and you're good to go. You can leave your web system from there. So any questions on how we added those pages? Or everybody, and like I said, if you are not part of the student chat room, let me know. Put your Skype username in the chat. And when this class is over, I'll invite you in there. I'll actually be putting some information in there. Those of you that might have joined late, just remember that I won't be here next week. I'm actually going to be doing yeah, I'm going to be doing my daughter's reveal party. We're going to be doing a Facebook Live for those that can attend. So if you want to see and you're not part of my Facebook, just Facebook me, look me up, and ask for an invite, because it's going to be fun. I believe it's going to be fun. It's going to be different, but it's going to be fun. So so that's how we do that. So if you have any questions on how to add a page, let me know and we'll go over it again.
Sheila, I think the links are what I'm, we can't, I don't know anything about this, so I wouldn't know how to go and say, oh, look, I can put this subject in and oh,
Yep,
look, I can
that's
link.
what we're getting ready to go to next.
Okay. Okay.
Because I've had people say, well, I'm part of the tipping circle, but do I have to be part of chat? Do I have to be part of TV? Do I have to? And you don't. If you have your tipping circle, which everybody, if you have an instructor, you should have their referral link to get into your tipping circle and sign up. So when you go into your tipping circle, you're going to see something like this. Okay. So you want to use your invite friends. That'll be your link that you are going to be using in your tipping circle. Okay. So when you go to your tipping circle and you tell people about the platform and everything, you want to use your tipping circle link. Now, when you get in your tipping circle, you have access to the apps that we have available. So you go to your apps and you go to your integrated apps. Now, at the very bottom of this, you have an affiliate link. So when you are using your PNG page, your Helium page, and all of that, you want to use this link referring back to your performance giving network. Okay. Once they click on that, then they have access to all of these at one time. Same thing with Tipping Circle. If they sign up for Tipping Circle, it still brings them back here. So either way, you're going to get paid for Tipping Circle. But if you want to do individual pages on each one of the programs, then all you have to do is click on the program. This is Play. So this is the page or the platform for the games. So here's the thing that you can do here is at the very top in your address bar, you will find your specific link for the gaming. You do not have to be registered to play the games to get a link. Once you've signed up for Tipping Circle, you have that access. So here's the access code for you to put in your gaming page. Same thing if you go back and you want to do your chat, click on chat. There is your link for your chat page. You don't have to sign up for chat to get it. Okay. Same thing with Prime One TV. Although I suggest if you have the capability to please get that Prime One TV. My grandkids love it. That's the first thing they do is come in, they sit down in front of the computer, put their headphones on, and they're watching their what is it, Boomerang and PBS Kids and Disney Kids, and everything's right there for them with that. And it's with the premium program. It's $49.95. I mean, my Boomerang on DirecTV was $8 a month. So this is free with that $49.95. So same thing with Disney. Disney was $17 a month through DirecTV. Or now it's AT&T. So yeah, it's totally worth it for me to pay $49 versus $212 for what I was paying for. So and they're adding stuff all the time, adding programs as they get permission to and get all the regulations to it. They're continually adding to it. So it's a good program to be into. And then, go ahead.
I have a question. So we're in the tipping circle, right?
Mm-hmm.
So all of these little programs right here, do they cost when you, okay, let me back up. If you sign up for Prime TV,
Mm-hmm.
do you have access to all of these other things, or do you have to sign up for individually?
No, you don't. If you have Prime TV, that's good. But if you have Tipping Circle, just go to your Tipping Circle, go to your integrated apps, and each one of these already has a program link for you to use to market to. You do not have to sign up for each one individually in order to be able to market it or to get a link. You already have it if you are in Tipping Circle.
Okay, but I mean for me personally to use it.
No. I mean, for you personally to use it, yes, you have to register it. But I think they're all free except for the Helium and the TV.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, you just click on it and register to use it. It will tell you if you have a cost. Like I said, for most of it, I think it's free for the base model. But then if you wanted to upgrade, I think that's where the cost comes in, but all that explains it when you go to register. Like, I'm not a gamer, but my son is, and he's going to tell all of his friends, because they sit in here every night and on their headphones and do strategies on whatever game it is they're playing. It's hilarious to listen to them. You think they were working for the CIA or something, the way the way they're in here talking. So, but yeah, just go in and try it and see. But yeah, if you just click on the actual program, at the very top in your toolbar or your address bar is your link for that specific program.
Right.
Yeah, but
I'm
yeah.
just trying to understand the whole system of trying to figure out how to use the tipping circle as for my personal self, so I can explain it to the other people, because I've got a friend on Tipping Circle, and she signed up for it and everything, but she doesn't get all access to like what I have.
No, she should be, once she gets into Tipping Circle, she should be able to go to her apps down at the bottom.
She doesn't have that.
She doesn't. Oh, okay, then she just came in as refer friends. My daughter doesn't either. But now you can send her your affiliate app at the bottom of your page, and that will give her the access to what we're seeing here.
So in that case, that it doesn't cost anything until she signs up for.
Yeah. So if you want to, just send her this and say, hey, here's all the apps you have. Because Tipping Circle is basically where she will get paid if anybody else signs up through her information. But yeah, if you go here to where it says a personal affiliate link and send her that, then she will get this page right here with all of your links in it.
Even if she's already signed up?
Yeah. She should have this same information. If she doesn't, then yeah, just send her this down here at the bottom.
Okay. Yeah, because I don't. My husband hasn't looked at his either, but I know I was going over it with her because I told her, so you can make some money off of this Tipping Circle by signing up for these other programs.
Yeah.
She said, we don't have any of that information to look at.
Yeah, just if you can, just check on it and see, because most of the people that signed up, and then you need to make sure she's in her dashboard and not just the Tipping Circle. Because everybody that signs up should have a dashboard. So just double check, because my daughter signed up because we're actually creating a tipping bucket for her for people that can't make it to her baby reveal next week. So I'm actually going to be doing that for her later today.
Okay. And then I noticed that something down there you clicked on, it said be something, I don't know which one. No, up
here.
No, one of those. I didn't understand what that it was V something.
Let's see. V code.
V batter.
Generate a V code. We don't do that right now. That's actually not a program. Now the B barter, yeah, that's going to be. See, I always forget where this is at. So this is, yeah, so if you go here and go to sign in, I always forget where my V-bar, how do I get into my V-barter? I think it's here. And then go, is it this it? Yes, so that's where you go. So to get to your V-barter, and this is where they have all the different programs and stuff. If you click on where it says reward points, click on that, it'll bring you to here, and then go to redeem points, and it'll take you into your V-barter. And your V-barter, you can just log in with the same information that you have with your Tipping Circle. I think that's the way it is. Shoot, is that it?
That happens to me too, Sheila.
Yeah, I forget. Yeah, because I forgot to put my password in. But yeah, then you can come here, and this is what they're actually going to be getting. It's almost going to be like what they call a marketplace, where you go like on Facebook and stuff like that. They're going to have places where you can come in here and register for a bed and breakfast. You can get a boat. You can do bungalows. You can do with the V-barter. Right now, they don't have all that. But this is going to be where you can go in there. But you know, you can do clothes shopping. They are in the process of making all this available. Right now, it's not. They're going to be linking right here where you can get your TV free. So all of this is going to have eventually shops where you can shop, and then anybody that is linked with the tipping circle that comes to the V-Barter and purchase, you will get commissions off of those too.
Okay.
So yeah, so that's where, and you know, it's buy, you can sell. So this is going to be a one place fits all eventually, but for right now, when she goes in there, just, you know, double check and make sure if she doesn't have the apps, the integrated apps, then send her the link at the bottom of your apps where it's got your affiliate link. And if you
Right.
click on that, then it takes her straight here.
Okay. Yeah, because I think I just did an invite.
Yep.
Okay, I'll get with her on that and see what she does.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So if you don't have the apps for the TV and you would like to use them, so now I'm going to show you how I go in and do those. So we got the helium. And like I said, I have the snipping tool. It comes with Microsoft with the Windows program. So you can search on Google for snipping tool for Macs. There is one available. It's just not called that, but you can get one to use. And then you're just going to highlight the picture, the image that you want to use. And then you're just going to file it. And I'm going to always hit save as. And then I'm going to go to blogging pictures and I'm going to create a new folder. And I'm going to put tipping circle. If I don't have it, it might tell me I already have it. Yep, see, it's telling me I already got it. So, no, I don't want to create a new one. I thought I had one. So then you want to create a folder just for tipping circle. And then you're going to come here and you're going to name this, and I'm going to name it Helium Hub. So I know what to look for, and I'm just going to hit save. And you can do that for any of the pictures that's here. Same thing with here. If I want to copy this, I'm just going to use my snipping tool. And copy that image. Okay, and this is a really good picture here that basically shows them how you can use this to do anything. So I want to make sure I got it big enough to where I can get everything in there. They don't want to get in there. Use my snipping tool. And if you have a fairly large picture, you want to make sure that you are up high enough. I'll come back. That you can incorporate everything that's going to be in there, or at least most of it. Oh, it got that in there. Wonderful. Okay, I don't want to use that one. So we are going to get rid of that one. I don't want that one.
Is that going to automatically size to the use that you're applying it to, or do you have
You can, once you get it in your system, you can size it the way you want to, but it's going to size it based on how you basically draw it. So if the picture's this big, when I go to use my snipping tool, I have to highlight exactly the dimensions of it. So if it's this big, I have to do it that big. Now, when you go in, you can resize it and make it smaller when you put it in your system.
Is that where you use paint?
You can, yep, to make it to the dimensions you want it. You can actually use Canva. You can use Canva to go in and size it down. When you add it to your website, by using your arrows, the in and out arrows, you can make it smaller or larger on your website, depending on how you want to use it. So if I go in, let's pull up so we're finished with Linda Marie's. So let's go and pull up my page that I was working on. Been reviewing some people's websites this week, so I see I got 3 updates I need to do. So I'm going to go to my pages because this one's still in draft, I think. Drafts. All right, so if I want to put that into my Helium, so I'm going to come here and I want to add an image. And I'm going to hit upload. And I'm going to go to my blogging pictures, tipping circle. And grab this one. Let's grab this one. All right, so you see how big it is? I don't really want it that big. So you just grab these dots right here and move it, and you can resize your image. Yep. And then you just move it wherever you want it to go. And then you have your image put there. And it, then you can just click your preview, see if it's how you want it to look. If you have to make it bigger, you can. If you need to make it smaller, you can. So there's that. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're very welcome. We'll leave that there because I'm gonna have to come back and work on that page. So. All right. So, and we can do the same thing for the crypto. There's actually some great games in here, information, images that you can use. If you want to put specific games in here, you can do that. But if you want to learn about the different things, you can actually come in here and click around, click on the overview. That's what I did. I clicked on the news, I clicked on about. You can actually click on the links and it shows you the different programs that it's a link to that you can use. Put those in your page, but I would never put somebody else's link in there if I'm not going to get any kind of money for it. So if you don't get monetized, you don't want to use somebody else's links, you can actually go in here and type in the rules, but then it's going to ask you different games and stuff like that. But here's the different games if you want to go in and copy some of the games that they have. My son plays that. He actually has it in his PlayStation right now. They play this. I think I messed up because I took it out. I hope I didn't lose something for him. It'll be all right. Mortal Kombat, he plays this. What is that other one he plays? There's another one. Street Fighter, they play that. And this is another one they play. This is a really cool game. I've played this a couple of times with him. He's got the other versions of this one. So there's games in here that they can play, and it tells you what gaming system it supports. He's played that one too. I think I've heard him play that one. And so as you can see that, like this one's a PC, this is Xbox. So PC means it's computer. These are all the different programs that you can use it on. So there's several different ways you can go in here, but if you go here to about, you can learn a whole lot about this program and the format. And I actually used some of this information when I was creating my page. It tells you how long it's been around. You can look at the overview, but that's how you can go in and actually look at the different programs and aspects of the game, the different stuff. So, and we're going to actually, I want to click this.
And Sheila, you get paid for playing these games?
Yep.
Awesome.
So that's why one of the memes that Roy created was the mom's like, "Are you gaming again?" And she's like, "Hush, Mom, I'm working." you know, so it's literally you get paid to game, you get paid to chat. So yeah, and see by this one says join the Crypto Sports Network now. I can use that in my website and actually link this to my Prime One gaming, this one right here. I might want to do this logo, so I can snip this logo right here. So the snipping tool works great if you want to find images.
Is that what you mean Mac can't do? I can do that, Sheila.
Yeah, that's why I said there is a program, because I know you do it. A lot of people said that they can't. So it's just a matter of finding program. You know, I think you ended up finding, we found it on Google or somewhere you found it and downloaded it. Or
It's
it
just
came
part of
your program.
Yeah, I can copy and then put it into whatever document, and then I find it, and then I can post it. Well, I think it may not work for this, but
So we're gonna do this one, and like I said, this is just so I can, you know, use them in my system. And I might not use them all. So there's that one.
where's the link that we put in there?
So when you come to your tipping circle, you're going to come down to where it says apps. You're going to go to,
I meant the game. I didn't understand how to put the, okay.
You're going to go here to Prime One and click on it, and there's your link right there.
Oh, okay. Wait, because you were showing the specific games.
Yeah, it just links to it, and they have to sign up for which game they want to play.
Oh, all right. You weren't
this is this is the whole format.
All right. I thought maybe you can make a link to that specific game.
No, they have to sign up for each individual game, and they're always adding games. So if you know anything about gaming, you know, you put your knowledge in there. I ask my son all the time, hey, how does this work? What does this do? You know, like how to form a clan, how to climb your ladders or form a ladders, how to request matches. So there's several different ways you can go with this gaming platform. Same thing with Helium. You know, you just go here and read about the Helium. You can use it on your phone to track how much Helium you're mining based on your program. You can go in and view where hubs are, how much that they're working. Same thing with the Prime One TV. So this right here, I'm going to snip that because that will be a great advertising tool. Just this part right here. And then we're going to save that.
Now, if I use that picture, there won't be a link, right? I can just use the picture.
No, you have a pic right here. Same thing. There's your link for your TV.
All right. I'm just, all right. Everything I use, that's the link I use. Okay. I got you. Okay.
So this right here explains a whole lot. So I'm going to click that because you get 30 days for free of premium. And then it reverts to the paid programming, but you can cancel it anytime. But like I said, go ahead.
Sheila, with the games, can anybody outside of our 247 get games for free, or is it a 30-day thing and then they pay?
All you have to do is send them once they sign up for Tipping Circle, just go down to the bottom of your Tipping Circle link, send them the integrated affiliate link. That clicks on it, and then there's all their games. And then once they sign up for that, you know, they go in and register. And I think it's free for them to sign up with it. If there's a charge, it'll tell them.
Okay, all right, because I know with the TV you only have 30 days free, and I wondered if all the other things were the same way.
Yeah, and I don't, like I said, I don't do the gaming. I might eventually go in and do the chat just to see how it works, but I already have Heliums, so I'm not going to worry about that. I already got the TV, but the gaming, I might sign it up just to see maybe if there's something on there the kids can play. But right now, those games are just really advanced for my grandkids. So I know my son, he's going to talk to his friends about getting on it. If they decide to, then, you know, I'll be able to write some pages about that. So.
and they'll get paid.
Yeah.
They'll get paid for playing the games. Your son and his. Okay, great. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So what does Tipping Circle cost?
Tipping Circle's free.
Okay.
Yeah, Tipping Circle's free. So just make sure you have your link from your instructor to get that, because you want to make sure that you've signed up with your instructor. So same thing with these pages. So once you transfer your pages over, all the images that come into your page would automatically be uploaded into your media file for you to have them. But I just want to put them in my site just so I can say I have them. So.
Okay, thanks.
You're very welcome. All right, so that's how you go in and do your snipping if you have that to add your images. But I suggest, like I said, I've always been telling this for weeks, that when you transfer a page over, if you're not sure if that's the placement, you want to make sure that the website or the page that you are modifying is 100% yours as much as possible. Yes, there's going to be some terms in there and some sentences and phrases that you just can't put into a better terminology. That's perfectly okay as long as you have just a couple per each page. You don't want to have like 5 or 6 different phrases that for whatever reason you can't find a better way to say it. If that's the case, you have those 2 or 3 different ones. Make sure that they're not in the exact same place. Put them in a paragraph below or above, not in the same place. Same thing with the images. If the images work and you like the images, that's fine. Don't use them in the same place. So I suggest removing all your images. When you get ready to modify and edit a page, just take out all the images, take out all the links. So then all you have is your content that you're concentrating on. Then once you have your content written, then you come back and do your images, because now you know where your verbiage is and what image works better at that particular place. Again, if you have less than 600 words, you only want a couple of images. If you have, you know, like me, I get kind of wordy. I'm, 12 to 15, sometimes 2,000 words. I might have 3, 4, maybe 5 images. But again, they're not right on top of each other. Sometimes you need, like if you're doing a wine page, there's 4 images that are very important to the wine. So you will be using 4 of them. But you don't want to bombard your pages with images. Google doesn't like it. They feel like that's competition for them when they go to try. If you're trying for Google AdSense, there's like, well, there's really no place for me to put an ad. So you want to make sure you're limiting, but don't make it so sparse that it doesn't retain the interest of the reader. Your wording and your verbiage should do that, but sometimes it doesn't. So just make sure that they know, hey, there's more coming, and that's what your image is supposedly is doing, is letting them know, hey, there's more content below here. Keep reading. This is the next phase of what we're talking about. So kind of make sure you follow those lines. That's not saying, hey, there's a couple of images that you want to put right side by side, just you can't do it. We're just saying don't flood your page with a bunch of images that your content gets lost. Does that make sense?
Add in the middle of the page.
Google will.
Okay.
Yeah. Google will put an image anywhere they see necessary or anywhere that they're spacing. So if you have, images all over the place that they don't see where they can put an image or put an ad, then, they might override it and say, well, this website's too busy. We can't really showcase our ads. So that's why you want to make sure that you don't have a ton of images. A lot of the older wine pages, if you go back and look at them, there's like an image at every paragraph. So I've gone through and taken a lot of mine out, because of that. So you want to make sure that you utilize, and if you do get Google AdSense, that you allow them to utilize your space. If they don't have space to utilize, they can't get on your website to advertise.
Sheila, I don't know why, but Google will pick pictures that they want to incorporate in your blogs?
Yes, Google advertises, and once your website is finished, you want to apply for Google AdSense. And what Google AdSense does, and I'll show it to you on Rory's. This is a Google ad, okay? And if I click on this ad, Rory gets paid just by me clicking on it, okay? And what they do is they the ad is in reference to, number one, what Roy has them to base on people searching, and also based on what is most relevant in the marketplace today. So, you know, people's always looking for jobs from home, so that's on there. Um, I've been looking for shoes for the kids, so that's something I've been looking for. They show Nike, you know, shop Nike. And then this is just something that Google puts in there. So anything that has this little icon on it, if you go to any website, I don't care what it is, if you go to any website and you see this little icon, that's a Google ad, which means that person's getting paid from Google if you click that ad. Even if you click it to get rid of it, they're getting paid. They're not getting paid as much as if you actually visit the ad, but they do get paid for that click, even if it's an X to get it off your page. So you want Google to come and advertise on your page. However, they won't come and advertise because Roy has 3 ads here that's clickable. If this was covered in images, they couldn't do that because they wouldn't have the space to advertise. They might only be able to put 1. There goes your ratio of your click ratio. It went down because there's no other place for them to put an ad. So that's why it's very important. That's why you've been hearing us harp about the amount of images on a page. I've seen and edited some people's pages. There's like, can you look at my site? I'll go look at it. And I can't read the content for so many images that they have on there. It takes away from the content because your eye's always distracted by the images. Some people think that's good. It's not, because you don't want to be known as a photograph website. You want to be known as a content website. And that's what Google wants, is they want a content website with images to enhance your pages. They don't want it the other way around. So you want to make sure that when you do put an image, that it relates to what you're talking about, that it complements your page instead of takes away from it. And you don't want to bombard your website with a bunch of images. I love images, but even I have to make sure that when I'm doing it, okay, is this the right place? Is it appropriate? Does it go along with what I'm saying? Is it tying the 2 phrases together or the 2 sections together? But if y'all all know me, you've seen how I do things. You see me create a page. I write first, and then do pay images and then do links. I already know when I'm creating the page what links I'm going to use, so I don't ever worry about the link. You already know what links you're going to use. If I decide to throw it in a different link, then that's fine. But the main thing that you need to concentrate on is, number 1, your content, and then your images should be your last thing that you should be worrying about. You already know when you're starting to create a page what links you're going to be creating it for. So your content is your main focus, is to get that content. Make sure that it's all you, as much as possible, even when you are modifying a page like we are doing here, and copying those pages over. It's still a copy, and you still want to make sure you go through and modify it. Even my page, it started out as a copy. This is where I stopped. This is my title. So I know I stopped right here. So from here on down, I got to modify this little part, but all this here is mine. I did just like Paul always teaches, you know, read the content, find out what works for you, put it in your own words, add to it. I actually did a lot of research on this, and I just got it straight from the websites themselves. Went to their abouts, went about the questions that were being asked, viewed the different information there. Same thing with here, the paid to chat, paid to gaming. I've already done all the research on this. Now I just got to go in and literally change my content. So do a little bit of research when you do these pages. You know, just keep the focus key phrase, the slug the same. Your key phrase, if you have some issues, like I said, I'm going to be actually doing some Jaxi searches and posted it in our student classroom for you to use for your key phrase searches. So they'll be there for you, because I know not everybody is able to pay for the pro service where you get unlimited searches. The 30 free searches is great if you do go through, like Paul said, and just, you know, narrow down your searches and then use your free 30 searches on Jaxi to narrow it down even more. But if you have issues, you know, like, hey, can you get me a really good key phrase? Make sure that you know, have a list of the same list that I do to work from. So
Thank you, Sheila.
so
That's a big help.
yeah, it is, because, you know, there's no need to create this awesome page and then you have a key phrase that nobody's looking for. It's almost like having a store out there in the middle of nowhere, and it's in the middle of nowhere. You know, it has really good merchandise, but nobody knows it's there, you know, so because you didn't market it right. So same thing with your pages. You want to make sure that you have a key phrase that people are searching for, even if it's only 10 people searching for it. At least they're searching for it. You don't want to have anything that has a 0 search or negative search, which is whenever you go to Jackson, it's got that greater than sign or less than sign. That means no one's searching for that word. It's a brand new word that we're trying to get indexed, which is a different thing altogether. But if it's something that there's already search terms for it and they're good search terms, you don't want to go in and start creating a new wheel, so to speak. So that's basically my instruction for today, on how to, you know, get those pages transferred over, where you can get your links from and how to utilize those links, and just make sure that your page and your content is relevant. Use your searches, you know, do a little bit of research, make it as informative as you can. If you have to, go in and register for some of those games and stuff and see how it works. Or if you know somebody that's into gaming, do the same thing. Ask them. Like I said, I ask my son all the time, how does this work? How do y'all do this? You know, sometimes he'll see me standing at his door and I'm like, what are you doing? You know, and they're literally, when I say that, they're almost like an army. They're strategizing. You know, you go over here and pick this up. There's a meta pack. You grab that. I got your back cover. And I'm going, it's a video game. You know? So, but they take it serious. And he was telling me about how they are people, professional gamers, you know, that's all they do is all day is they do that and get good at it, because they have an Olympics. I think I was reading that next year, the next Olympics, you know how everybody, when I was growing up, we had the skateboarders and the snowboarders and everything. We called them, you know, that's weird sports, but now they call it extreme sports, and they have their own Olympics. Well, guess what? So are the gamers. This is going to be their first Olympics. They're going to have a Gamers Olympics, which is going to be huge. So here's a platform that you can use to market that. Say, hey, are you preparing for the Gamers Olympics coming up? Here's a platform for you to use, you know, and introduce them to your gaming platform where they can go and practice with people that are better than they are or not so good, you know, but they can compete with people worldwide to improve their game. But yeah, that's part of the thing is when you go to the gamers console and look at some of their stuff, there's all kind of information on there about where they've had games, you know, local gaming things. Same thing with the cards, Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't know if you ever heard of Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon. They actually have tournaments for that. And I mean, my son used to go to Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournaments all the time. I would take him, you know, when he was 13 and 14, I'd take him down to the studio, and I mean, there would be 50 people in there. And it would be an all-day event, and he would come home, you know, be like, Mom, I won $25 today. Great. You know, perfect. All from playing, you know, a card game. I remember growing up, I don't know how many of y'all remember Rubik's Cube. That was a nationally televised tournament on who could solve the Rubik's Cube the fastest. And it's coming out now. My grandson has a Rubik's Cube, and I'm like, oh God, it's coming back. So, but you know, those are the things that people are into now. And especially with them being stuck at home, the gaming, the TV is a huge thing that people are getting into. All right. Yep. Perfect. Yes, Cynthia, yeah, it was really, I remember Rubik's Cube. I remember people in school taking the squares off and placing them. You know, when you do that, you mess the whole system up. It will never be right again, because there is a technique and a strategy for a cube. So, but yeah, so there's different ways to pursue these different methods that you can write about each one of these programs. Just make sure that when you write it, that it's unique to you. That doesn't mean that you can't use some of the same verbiage that another website has. That's why Roy puts them out as templates, because there's good information there. Just turn it around and use it to your advantage. That's the simplest way to put it. And then come back and find your images and put those in there. And like he was talking a Canva. Let's see. Yes, you have to be approved by Google to get Google ads on your page. So that's why your website is the key. If you have anything that they consider scrape content, which means it's an exact copy, steal of another website, you will probably not get approved. So that's why I say even your images is considered content. So if it's in the exact same place as you originally got it, move it, change the image. You know, there's several images you can go and find. You know, change that image. Don't leave it the same. Move it around in a different paragraph. Put it on a different different format. You know, just move it. Don't leave it there, because that Google will look at that and say, well, this picture shows up 10 other websites in the exact same place, the exact same picture. They don't like that. So even your images need to be in a different block, a different spacing, sometimes just a different image. You know, if it's a good image and you still want to use it, just move it. You know, if it's on the left-hand side, put it on the right, on a paragraph below or paragraph above. You know, just don't leave it where it's at. So the one thing we're going to do now is someone was asking, well, how do you create that meme? Very simple. Canva is a free program. Now, I actually have the paid programming because I like to get a little, and it's not very expensive. Even the paid program is $12.95 a month. Very simple for as much as I use Canva for. So you're just going to go here and create a design. And it tells you right here. I was actually working with one of my students yesterday. She created a Facebook page, and I noticed that her design on the back, she hadn't uploaded her background photo. So you can actually come here and it tells you, hey, there's your cover image. So if you want to design your own cover image for Facebook, they already have the dimensions. Same thing if you want to do a Facebook post. Facebook images do have a requirement. So if you have an image on your web system or on your page and you're going to post that page to Facebook, if the image that you've chosen doesn't meet the criteria of Facebook, they will choose an image in your website for you, no matter if you do have a focus picture, a featured image. If it doesn't meet the Facebook requirements, they won't use it. They'll find one that comes close to it, and that's what they will use. Same thing with Instagram. They will choose an image that fits their criteria. So I always use an Instagram post because number one, it's the biggest post. So that means wherever I post it, it will fit it. There are some places, especially I think there's a couple of advertising sites that the Instagram post is too big. So then that's where you will have to use your paint and come back and resize it. So I'm going to create an Instagram post on Canva, and it'll pull up a blank post. You see that right there. But it also has, say if you don't have an idea, you can come here and look at different Instagram posts that they have. And you can actually choose one of these and just change the verbiage. The background stays the same, the image stays the same, but you can come here and change out any of the verbiage and make it your own. See, like this one's actually a video. And as long as it says free at the bottom, you can use it without charge. See, like this one doesn't say anything, so guess what? You probably got to pay for that one. See, that says free. Again, this one doesn't have anything, so you probably have to pay to use that one. That one says free, that one doesn't. So if it doesn't say free on it, that means it's a paid one that you have to pay for separately, which means it's a trademark and somebody owns it and they want you to pay to use it. So as long as it says free, and there's a bunch of free ones, and then if there's a particular one like Mother's Day is coming up, they might have one in here just for Mother's Day. So if I want to look for Mother's Day, I can see if they got one specifically for Mother's Day. So here's one for Mother's Day. Again, it's not free. Most of them, that one's free. So if I wanted to make a post for Mother's Day, I would just choose this one. But we're going to actually upload and create our own. So I'm just going to come here to upload. And I'm going to choose an image. And I'm just going to go to my tipping circle images. And I'm going to do this one. Okay. And then I'm going to bring it over here. And my images is really small, which is fine because we're creating a meme. And I'm going to grab my edges to actually make the picture itself bigger. If you do these, then it's going to stretch it out and not necessarily make your image better. If you just grab the edges, then it actually stretches the whole picture and not just a section of it. Just want to be careful as you stretch it because then it starts to lose its consistency, and it starts to look a little grainy, starts to look a little distorted. So that's one of the things you want to do. So there's your actual picture. And then I want to put a background. So we're going to click on background. And this is where you can get really funky with it. You can choose different backgrounds you want to add to it. So let's see what kind of abstract backgrounds we have. Let's see if we got anything related to, nope. So take that one down. Got food, textures. Let's go to textures. I always like to try to have something that complements the actual background in the photo. Doesn't stand out too bad. Oh, kind of like that second one I had. Oh, that looked good. And I'm going to use the background as part of my message. So then you're just going to come here to where it says text. And you're just going to grab a header or heading. All right, and then I'm going to move it. And you see all of a sudden we lost our color, which is fine. So then I'm going to come here and choose a color. So let's see what color stands out on that black background best. If you want to just do white, you can do white. I like that red. All right, and then we're going to increase that size, increase it some more, move our picture down. And then we're going to do another heading. Actually, get rid of that. I'm going to do it this size. And I'm going to go ahead and change this color. And see, actually, this could be 2 different memes depending on what I want to do with it. So I need to change my sizing of my lettering. And we're going to move this up. Same thing with here. Let's change this because I want to do something else. Okay. Let's move this here. And now we're going to put my logo in there. And if I want to leave it there, I don't think I do. Oh, no. There we go. That's what I want to see.
Sheila, you wouldn't copy your permalink to do that, would you?
This is the permalink.
It is?
Mm-hmm.
You just memorized it?
Yeah. Yeah. And even though it's overlapping, that's fine. There we go. And I want to change that color because that's too black. I can do it there. And you can get as creative as you want to. There we go. Stands out.
But you can copy and paste the permalink from the page.
Yeah,
okay.
you can. Like I said, these are the ones that you're gonna kind of want it to stand out. And like I said, if I wanted to, I can actually, if I take this one and put it up here and change that to red, and then if I want to move this one down here, see, then that leaves that blank. I don't like my picture blank. So if I want to put that here, and like I said, you can always, that's the good thing about the Canva, you can make it look as way you want it to. It's pretty centered. So let's change this color back down here. And let's make that yellow. So there's that. So we do it. And let's just make our punctuation. Okay, I like that arrangement better. Perfect. And then they just go to 5e95.com, pay to chat. And then it's titled. And sometimes it'll say here, untitled. You want to title your meme or title your picture so that when it downloads and you save it, and I'm going to come here and pull it up. And that's how it's going to look. And I'm just going to come here and save as, and it's already titled for me. And I'm going to put it in my logos, and I'm going to put it in my tipping circle. Do I have tipping circle logos? Yep. Oh, no. Okay.
Now, is that logo an actual link, or you got to link it to it?
No, you don't link your memes, because this is something I can use on Facebook. I can use this on Instagram, and don't put a link in it, because there's your link, and they'll follow this right here. Now, if you put it on your page, then that's different. You want to link this to your Tipping Circle app so that they actually, to your paid to chat. So you would link this to your paid to chat link. But if you are using this on, say like I said, your, sorry there. If you're using this on your Instagram, your Twitter, your LinkedIn profile, anything like that, your link's already there for them to look at. You don't need to link it. This is just for advertising. But if you use it in your website, then this is the link you want to use you want to link it to your paid to chat app. Okay, and that's all it is. Now, with me, like this one right here, I can actually have a filter where I can remove the background. And so that looks a lot better. But that's one of the paid features. So now I'm going to download it, and I'll let you see what it looks like without that background on it. So see, now it just looks like fire coming out. So now that looks better, because now I don't have that big box around it, and it looks a lot better. So, but that's one of the features on the paid program, is you get to remove background images or background filters. So then you just have a clean picture. So it's just, it's a good program. You can do a lot with it. You can do a lot with the free program. It's very useful. It helps you, make your images unique, especially if you are a social media guru. You like posting on Twitter, you like posting on Instagram, you like posting on Facebook. These types of things really, really work, because they consider it as an image, even though each image has a link in it. Because you don't have it direct linked, they won't kick it off, and it'll get seen everywhere. And then they click on it, and it's like, oh, there's a link. So then they'll post that link in there. So there's great aspects to it. The memes program is awesome. They also create individual memes for you. You just need to make sure that you have the same pages that they need the memes for. If you don't, you'll have to create them. And usually they'll tell you which ones you need. Like I posted it in the student classroom. Those are the 5 that you need, I think, or 6. That if you are going to get in the memes programs, you need to have those pages with those exact links in them. So your slug needs to match what's in there, because that's what they're creating the memes for. Same thing with the wine. You need to make sure you still have your fine wines page. You still need to have your coffee page. What's the other one? I think, can't remember. I think the other one's pets. Vacations or something or other. I can't remember what. It's been so long since they've done those. But they usually will let you know which ones you need if you don't have them. And you'll need to create pages for that. But yeah, Canva's a really good program to use for utilizing those aspects. If you are not part of Instagram or Twitter, if you don't tweet at least twice a day, I suggest you get a Twitter account and tweet. And these are the perfect way to do it. Just put an image out there and say, check it out. Or do you game? You don't have to do long drawn out conversations. I promise you. It's called a tweet for a reason. That means it's short, sweet, and to the point. Especially on Twitter, they don't even allow you to put a whole bunch of content on there. If you do more than 2 sentences, it kicks you off because it's too long.
It's gotten broader.
Yeah, it can be, but all you want to do is get traffic to your website. You want people to get those clicks. You want people to come to your pages and start shopping on it. So it serves its purpose. Just don't be afraid to use it. Utilize it to your advantage, and just build up your tweet contacts. Build up your LinkedIn. LinkedIn right now is a great place to do your helium hubs It's a great place to do your gaming because there's a lot of gamers on LinkedIn that are in the closet. Trust me. Same thing with your Bitcoin is a good place out there to do that. Any of the business ads you want to do, flood the market on under the business classifieds for your Helium Hub. Same thing with the TV, the free TV for first three. LinkedIn is a good business platform. They're not too much into the clothing and things like that, but they're good if you can link whatever your product is to their particular genre of work or field. So like with me, I actually wrote an article on LinkedIn on how to incorporate wine in the final sale of a house, or referring to your customers, buying a car, give them a bottle of wine on their year anniversary of purchasing their car, things like that. It really appeals to them to have a way to thank their customers, because then their customer will come back when there's like, oh, it's been a year and they still remember me and gave me this great bottle of wine, so that's one of the ways you want to approach LinkedIn. Don't just approach it with the mind that you're going to go in there and sell stuff. Approach it in a mindset that you're going in there to appeal to their business side. How is this going to affect their business? How is it going to make their business grow? How is it going to help them retain their customer base? So that's where you go and approach LinkedIn that way. They also like content. So go in there and use their article section where you can actually go in and write an article. If you go and looked at mine, when I wrote an article, I copied and pasted my exact website page that I wanted to use, links and all. And they read it and still can click everything, still have notice to my website. But it's good content information about how they can utilize my programs and my products to help grow their business. So LinkedIn's a really good place to work those out. So that's all I have for today. Do we have any questions that we didn't cover, or that you want to cover that we didn't in the next few minutes?
Yeah, Sheila, when you said 332, you were looking at that. I thought 300 was the bottom line.
That's the base minimum requirement,
right,
for
okay.
Google. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I said, and if you're on Paul's site, if you can do it in more than 300 words, don't let 300 words be your cutoff if you know you can write more.
For some, I just can't.
And if you can't, if 300 words is your limit, then that's where you go in and research some of the stuff, and go in and say, okay, well, I didn't talk about this. This is a good thing to talk about, and copy and paste the exact same thing from their website and then modify that just to give it more content, because the overall relevancy of your page is to give them a brief definition of what you are marketing and how they really need it. Not necessarily as, like for the gamers, hey, this will help improve your overall gaming. You get to, game with people all over the world. Not only that, you get to pay, get paid to game. And if you don't know much about gaming, do like I did, go in and research it. Tell them, how they can create their own clans from not only people they know, but from people with the same skill level, how they can go in and create their own teams, to build up and battle and be able to register for different tournaments and actually win money at tournaments, how they can go in and basically bet on the outcome of the tournament and win money that way. How they can go in, and every logged in minute that they have, or logged in game time they have, they create Bitcoin or gain Bitcoin, not necessarily on the outcome of the game, but the simple fact that they're playing. So you can go in and find different information and use that in your website. I promise you, the longer your website is, or the more content you have, the better chance you have of getting Google approval. 300 is the base minimum. If you can get it to 5, it's even better. But
Okay.
300 is the base.
Can I ask you, on wine, I put in Bacchus, the god of celebration. And I mean, I just thought that was fun. And, I sort of tied it to.
Yeah, because on Rory's, he put Dionysus, which is the
Oh, Who's
Yeah.
that?
He's the Greek god. Bacchus, I think, is the
Is-
Roman, or do I have it reversed?
Yeah, I thought, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I-
But yeah, Dionysus, I think, is the Greek god of wine and celebration. Yeah. So
Whatever.
yeah, but yeah, you can, that's a perfect example of how you can expand the, your knowledge. Just throw in some incidental information like that still relates and is relevant to, your product and what you're talking about, but it gives them a different look at it.
And it's fun. It's fun, it's just
Exactly.
fun.
Exactly. Perfect. Just like with me, I tell people I don't drink, so don't ask me what it is. And I put that in quite a few of my pages. I said, but how does wine taste? How's it supposed to taste versus how it smells? Things like that, just based on my own personal knowledge and research that I've done, and just, asking tons and tons of questions. And recipes, I love to cook. I cook. There's a lot of recipes I use that calls for wine. And now, instead of me telling my friends to go to the liquor store and get it for me, or or try to hide it under my pocketbook while I'm checking out or something, I just go in my closet and pull a bottle out, but it's just different aspects, for the page. If you can find something like that, even create a meme like this, that's funny or relevant, that basically stands out, do it. Whatever it takes to make your page unique. That's your website. You can basically create it however you want to. We just want you to make sure you stay within the guidelines, so that we know can make you more accessible to get better traffic to it.
Sheila,
Thank
Yes.
you.
in regards to AdSense, does Google pay more attention to your social media advertising as opposed to price tag?
Yes, Google pays more attention to social media clicks than they do to advertising clicks. For the simple fact, your social media clicks are from people that you are in constant contact with, or people that you are in contact with on a daily basis. And most of the time, it's people you know. And by you clicking on getting those social media clicks, they also know that a lot of people share good stuff on social media. So if there's like my daughter, she'll get a meme that I put out. If she likes it, she'll share it with all her friends that I don't have contact with. And if they like it, they'll share it with all their friends, and it just keeps going. It's a steamroller effect. And that's why the memes are important. It has my link on it, and then they can click on the link and read my page. Google tracks that. They have bots that say, oh, this came from Instagram, this came from Facebook, this came from Twitter, this came from Tumblr, they know where the click generated from. And they respond better to that type of click than they do to a regular marketing click. Not to say that those aren't important. Those are important too, because that gets your numbers up. But the social media clicks rank higher on Google for approval for Google AdSense than just the regular advertising. Not to say that you don't need to advertise, because the advertising flooding the market gets your system in front of more eyes. It's just that the social media clicks, those are people that you are in contact with, that's shareable. Okay. So that's why you hear us talk all the time. Make sure you have, a Facebook account. Make sure you have at least a Twitter or Instagram account. The more social media platforms that you are connected with, the easier and better it is to get your website out in front of people. That's why it's important to be if you're not part of the memes program, at least create your own until you can get in there. And then you will be able to post on Twitter and post on Instagram with just a meme, because Instagram, it's kind of hard to put a link. Even though you can, the link's not shareable. The image is. They can share the image all day. Sometimes they won't share your link. Sometimes they don't even click your link. But your image is there, and then it'll gain curiosity. There's like, okay, I want to see what this says, and then they'll go in and key in your link.
Hey, Sheila.
Hey.
Just an FYI for the Mac users. I just installed a Snip. It's called SNIP, and you can get it from the Mac App Store.
All right.
And
so y'all hear that?
It is free, so I just downloaded it and it works pretty good.
All right, I'm gonna put that into chat. All right.
I was trying to put a link in there, but I'm not sure if I can or not. Maybe I can copy the address, maybe?
Yeah, if you copy the link for the address, it should be there in the toolbar, and just post it in the chat. Make sure it goes to everyone. And then those of you that have the Mac computers, if you're part of the student classroom, post it there too, because they can always go back and look at it.
Okay. Only thing is I got 2 computers going. I got it on my Big Mac, and I don't know how to, I guess I could do it in where can I put it?
If you're on chat, just go down to, if you're on more, go to more and see where the chat room is, or down in your toolbar down at the bottom on Zoom, it should say chat, and just pull that up and just paste it in there, or if you can just type it in. But if it's just put in there, go to the Microsoft Store or your Mac store, what do you call it? The Mac shop?
Mac apps, yeah. Can I
Mac.
ask you something? When you take, who's the one that has the app discussion? I just take a screenshot, I put it over in my docs or whatever, and then I just drag it into my media on,
Either way works, but there's an actual app like mine where you can actually copy without having everything else included in it. So either way works, whichever is easier.
Oh, okay.
I think I got it. Hang on a second. Let's see. Okay. So
there it is.
Did that come up?
Yep. Got it. apps.apple.com, US app snip, and then the ID number.
Okay, great.
Yep. Perfect.
I just opened up two Zooms.
So yeah, it's there. So those of you that are Mac and would like to have a snipping tool or snipping editor, Phyllis just put it in there for us for those of you that have a Mac to use. I actually have a couple other students that are not in the student class that I think I will send that to. So if you would post that in the student chat classroom too, or on our Sheila Evolution for those that use Macs, that would be
Does it cost
perfect.
money?
No, she said it's free.
Okay, yeah, all right, I'm gonna download that. I'm looking at it.
Yep, she said it's free.
Okay.
So that's all I have for today. Do we have any questions before we sign off?
Yes. I have another question.
Okay.
And I'm going back to the tipping tool because I really want this to work for me.
Yeah.
But I'm not okay. So if I go into my tipping circle, and then I go down and I click on the little icon, the little picture down there that says chat, right? Am I supposed to do it through my tipping circle?
Yeah, if you're signing up for chat, yeah.
Because it's going to have my link up at the top.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna try it today, see if I can't.
Yeah, and the reason, because a lot of people are thinking that there's like, okay, well, they're signing into their own tipping circle to get these apps. What you have to remember, though, is even though they're signing on to their own tipping circle, it's still connected to you because you referred them. So anything that they do is still going to be up under your umbrella. So it'll still come back to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, my friend, I just tried to get her, I showed it to her and everything, and hers still doesn't come up correct. So I don't know what she's doing wrong, or if she just doesn't know where to go.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look at my daughter's because she did the same thing, and I hadn't looked at her. She just said, okay, I've done it now. So when I go up there next week, I'll look and see.
Yeah, that's what my people are doing. I send them, they sign in, they say, okay, I'm signed in. And they pop.
Yeah, that's now, you should be getting an email saying so-and-so signed up for your tipping circle. Are you getting that?
Yes, and then I reply to it, and I thank them for it and everything.
Yep, so they are in your circle. It's just a matter of how we got to figure out where they get their information. Now,
Right.
if you go, I would send them, if they don't have the link, they can probably go to their barter place and get them, but I would send them that referral link and down at the bottom of your apps page.
I
And
sent
say,
that to her and she clicked on it and she says it just takes her to the same page.
what same page? The tipping circle page?
Yeah, it takes her to back to her tipping circle page, and it has the same information on it.
So if you go to your apps place where it says apps.
Go all the way to the bottom. Where it has all this spread the social buzz, and I copied that and I put it in her text message, and I said, now click on this one, and that should add your apps, and it didn't give her the apps. I don't know, maybe I don't know.
Yeah, because that should take her straight into this page where it's got tipping circle, PG, and apps.
Right, and that's what mine comes up, and then I go all the way to the bottom of that and get my link.
Yeah.
But anyways.
Yes. So we'll have to figure that out. I'll have to get with my daughter and see what we can figure out.
I might go in and see if I can look at my husband's, because he signed up too.
Yeah.
To see what
play around with it and see, and then let us know.
Okay.
We're gonna let you be the instructor on this project.
Oh, thank you. You know how you saw my wine video. You know how
it was amazing. You didn't see all the comments you got on that.
I got some good comments, but I was so nervous. I was like, I did that retake several times.